There is a moment, not always remembered, but always felt, when the world stopped being soft. When you looked around and realized something had shifted inside you, quietly, irreversibly. It might have been the day you were yelled at for simply existing too loudly, or the night you saw a parent cry and understood, before you were ready, that adults break too. It could have been the morning you stopped believing that someone would come to save you. The moment your innocence disappeared isn't always a single event. Sometimes it's a slow unraveling. The brain, still tender and forming, begins to catalog pain it cannot name. The nervous system records the shock, the stillness, the silence after the rupture. And from that moment on, life begins to be organized not around play, but around protection. Neuropsychologically, the disappearance of innocence marks the first deep shift in the amygdala-hippocampus network, where emotional memory meets meaning. Before this, the world is experienced through safety and wonder. After it, the brain begins coding for threat, subtle, continuous, and often invisible. The prefrontal cortex, still developing through adolescence, can't yet make sense of injustice or emotional inconsistency. So the child's mind internalizes what it cannot explain. I must have done something wrong. I must become smaller, smarter, quieter to survive. The nervous system adjusts accordingly. Play becomes performance. Curiosity becomes control. The sparkle in the eyes of the once trusting child dims slightly, replaced by calculation. And though that child might still smile, a part of them begins watching life instead of living it. That's what happens when innocence disappears. Not that joy vanishes, but that the nervous system starts filtering it through vigilance. As years pass, this early fracture manifests in countless ways. Some become overachievers, trying to reclaim worth by mastering the very world that broke them. Others withdraw into fantasy, their inner world a refuge from unpredictable reality. The default mode network, the part of the brain that constructs identity through memory and imagination, begins looping between longing and fear, wanting to return to the lightness of before, yet unable to trust it. For many, love becomes a negotiation with danger. Intimacy feels both intoxicating and unbearable. The innocence that once allowed them to connect without self-consciousness is gone, replaced by anticipation of loss. This is the heartbreak that never announces itself, the death of unguardedness. But beneath all this adaptation is the same small self, waiting, not to return to childhood, but to integrate it. Healing the moment innocence disappeared is not about reclaiming naivety. It's about restoring safety to the body, teaching the vagus nerve, the emotional highway of the nervous system, that connection can be safe again. It's allowing yourself to exist without defense, even for seconds at a time, to laugh without scanning the room, to rest without apology. The disappearance of innocence was never your fault. It was a biological response to emotional chaos. And yet, what makes you extraordinary is that the innocence never truly left. It simply went into hiding, waiting for your body to remember safety. Thank you for sitting with me in this. If this spoke to something tender inside you, honor it. You are not broken. You are simply remembering where your softness was stored. Innocence doesn't vanish. It transforms into wisdom, compassion, and presence. And one day, when the world feels safe enough again, you'll notice something small, the way light hits your face, the way laughter feels in your chest, and realize it's still there. The innocence, not gone but reborn through awareness.